Francis Ngannou versus Ciryl Gane just took place in the main event of UFC 270, Ngannou versus Gane, and I need to break down this main event because it went all 5 rounds, all the way to a decision, and Francis Ngannou was declared the winner by decision. 49-46 on one of the judges' scorecards, which is absolutely criminal. They need to be investigated immediately. That is a pre-written scorecard. They were paid off by some kind of mafia. There's no possible way of seeing this fight 4-1 to Ngannou. There is a chance of seeing it 4-1 to Gane. Zero chance of seeing this fight 4-1 to Ngannou. That's a pre-written scorecard. There's no way around that. Just like the scorecard of 49-46 in Adesanya Romero. Just like the scorecard of 49-46 in the first Usman Covington fight. Just like the scorecard of 49-46 in the second Usman Covington fight. Just like the scorecard of 49-46 in Jones versus Reyes. Just like the scorecard of 49-46 in Namajunas versus Zhang 2. Just like the scorecard of 49-46 in Jacek versus Namajunas 2 as well. This 49-46 scorecard keeps showing up in really, really bad decision wins for people that don't deserve to win. But let's talk about the fight in general. It wasn't very action-packed. The first 2 rounds were very patient. Ciryl Gane clearly outlanded Francis Ngannou at range, landed the more effective shots as well, and just clearly dominated Francis Ngannou on the feet for the first 2 rounds of this fight. There's zero chance, unless you're paid off by someone else, that you can score any of those first 2 rounds to Francis Ngannou. The second round was clearer to Gane. The first round was closer, but Gane still won the first round as well. The third and fourth round, you can give to Ngannou. He had a lot of control time, landed some total strikes as well, threw around Gane a little bit in the third round. He definitely won the third round because he got a big slam and he outlanded Gane on significant strikes. But the fourth and fifth round are very interesting to me. Now, the fifth round I think is undeniably in the favour of Ciryl Gane, but the fourth round there's also an argument because, of course, in the fourth round, he also took down Gane. In the fifth round, he took down Gane again, and ended up on top. No, he didn't even take down Gane in the fifth round. Let me not get ahead of myself here. Round 4, in a damage-based scoring sport, Ngannou got takedowns, landed 7 significant strikes. Gane landed 16 of 17 significant strikes on the feet against Ngannou at the start of that fourth round. He was dominating the fourth round. He landed over double the significant strikes of Francis Ngannou, over double of the total strikes against Francis Ngannou, and he had a submission attempt as well. So in my opinion, he arguably could win the fourth round, but I can understand because of some of the shots that were landed in ground and pound towards the end of the fourth round, how you could maybe see that fight go into Ngannou in the fourth round. Now the fifth round, in my opinion, a little bit undeniable for Ciryl Gane. I thought he'd won the round when I was watching it live. There was a chance that it was robberyable if you're dumb and biased towards Ngannou, which most people are, as we found out on Instagram. People are calling Figueiredo Moreno 3 a robbery, but they're not saying anything about Ngannou versus Gane. Very strange, just like they aren't even fucking watching half the time. One moment they love damage, the second time they love control time. It's very interesting to me, but in round 5, I gave it to Ciryl Gane. I thought he won this fight 3-2. I can even see round 4 going to Ngannou, even though Gane, and I say this again, made him look like an absolute mess because he can't strike for shit, and clearly won the fourth round on the feet by doubling and over-doubling Ngannou on total strikes and significant strikes, which is how fights are supposed to be scored, by the way. That's how they're supposed to be fucking scored, and yet we still don't score them in that way whatsoever for some bizarre reason, unless we see fit to and it serves us in a certain purpose. I have no idea why they don't keep doing this, but either way, round 5, Ciryl Gane landed more significant strikes. He landed more total strikes than Ngannou in round 5 as well. He had 2 submission attempts to Ngannou's 0, and he got the takedown in the first place, and Ngannou did nothing but lay on top of him, and somehow won the 5th round. Now, before you go into the comments and call me names like racist, or anything else that you're going to call me here, Ciryl Gane, argue any of these points I'm about to make. Outlanded Ngannou on significant strikes. Outlanded Ngannou in total strikes. Had more submission attempts than Ngannou in 2 submission attempts to Ngannou's 0, and those submission attempts were in and were counted by the stat page as locked in submissions. There was a heel hook and a knee bar that he went for. He also was more effective than Ngannou with his striking as well, because he landed the better shots than Ngannou, and he was more efficient with his striking because he landed more of his percentage in round 5 than Ngannou did, 58% to Ngannou's 38%. But I guess Ngannou laid on top and breathed out of breath enough to where they give him that 5th round, despite him doing fucking nothing to Ciryl Gane in that 5th round. People keep telling me, what did Gane do to win the 5th? I ask you back, First of all, try and find any problem with any of my 5 points I've made, and I'll give you a fucking award. You won't find any problem with them, because they're all 100% fucking true. Tell me what Ngannou did in round 5 to win the round. In a damage-based scoring sport. In a damage-based scoring sport that we're now in, what did Ngannou do to damage Gane in round 5? At any point in round 5 ever? Thank you very much. Gane outlanded him on the feet, outlanded him in total strikes, was more effective, was more damaging, had 2 locked-in submission attempts. The heel hook was in and he was cranking on it, but Ngannou just toughed it out. He might even have a bad knee because of that heel hook. Definitely did some damage. But no, they scored round 5 to Ngannou because he laid on top of Gane, out of breath, doing fucking nothing on top of Gane. That's why they gave round 5 to Ngannou. No idea why they did this, but they did it anyway. That's how it goes, I guess. 49-46 is probably one of the worst scorecards in combat sports history that I've ever seen. Now, in the first Canelo Triple G fight, I will admit, whoever had Canelo winning is retarded. Whoever had Wilder winning in the Fury fight in their first fight is also retarded. But this is up there as well, along with the John Jones, Dominic Reyes, 49-46. The Zhang Weili, Rose Namajunas, 49-46 as well. This is up there with the Usman Covington, 49-46. Both times, by the way, in that fight that they had between themselves. I mean, it just never ends with these bad decisions. And instead of everyone calling it out like they were calling out Figueiredo Moreno 3, even though Figueiredo won the first round, dropped Moreno in the third, and dropped Moreno in the fifth, they're still calling it a fucking robbery. No idea how they're calling this a robbery, but even Bisping said it on the analyst desk that people are mentioning this as a robbery, yet went on to mention nothing about the bad decision in Ngannou versus Gane and completely swept it under the rug. I have no idea why they keep doing this. It's really fucking annoying to me how they're going to brush over this and act like it didn't happen. I am correct. It was a shit fight, so I'm not being a hard done by kind of guy here and just shitting all over it, because it was a shit fight in general. But Gane won that 5th round. I don't care what he said in the post-fight interview. He's accepting the result. The decision was called in favour of Ngannou. First of all, why did Gane jump for a heel hook in the first place? He was on top, in half guard, completely controlling Ngannou, and for some random reason in round 5, when all he needed to do was stay on top to win that fight and completely dominate it, because again, when Ngannou's fighting, control time means everything, instead of meaning nothing, which it actually does mean. It regularly means nothing, but when Ngannou's fighting, it means fucking everything. So if Gane just laid on top and did nothing in round 5, he would have been scored round 5. Instead, he tried to do some damage to Ngannou. This is a big no-no. Trying to do damage to someone is anti-scoring in the damage-based scoring system that we have. Silly Ciryl Gane, he should have laid on top. Now, why he jumped on bottom for the heel hook, I have no fucking idea why in round 5 against Francis Ngannou, when you're winning round 5 and you're on top, you would jump on bottom for a heel hook attempt. Fair play, it looked like it was in, but instead of laying on top and just winning the round anyway, Gane makes maybe the dumbest decision in UFC history in a title fight by jumping on bottom against Ngannou in round 5 and just giving up the fucking position against Ngannou. Now again, control time means nothing under current scoring, but when Ngannou has got control time, it means everything. MMA fans always talk about how damage trumps control time and how it should be scored more effectively. When Ngannou wins, none of them think this whatsoever, and they're giving this fight to Ngannou based on control time, even though he got outlanded on the feet, outlanded in general in total strikes, out effectively landed, out efficiently landed, out grappled, got taken down, and had 2 submission attempts against him, all because Ngannou laid on top of Gane and did fucking nothing but breathe out of breath for 3 minutes. And that's why he won. It's a shame that UFC history is completely tarnished once again, just like it was for Jones versus Reyes. Let's not forget the 49-46 scorecard in Santos versus Jones as well, which is ridiculous. But that 49-46 scorecard seems to find its way into every one of these robbery decisions, and it's very interesting to me. I'd not be surprised if it was always Saudi and Marto, in all honesty. Like, I don't understand why all of these bad scorecards, whenever there's a robbery, there's a weird 49-46 scorecard every single time. I am so confused by this, but it constantly seems to happen. No idea why. It just constantly seems to happen. Whenever there's a bad decision, there's one random judge giving it 4 rounds to 1, when who knows who won 3 rounds to 2. We know Gane won. It was a robbery. People won't say that moving forward because it's not popular, but I'll say it moving forward. I back myself on this. I think I'm pretty correct. The Weasel said it was 3-2 as well. I believe him. I think he'll probably do a video on it describing why it should be. And Ngannou did fucking nothing in round 5, but lay on top of Gane after being given positions by Gane going for submission attempts, and Gane didn't get round 5. Outlanded him, out-totally landed him, out-effectively landed him, out-efficiently landed him, landed the better shots in general, won the takedown in the first place and got the takedown in the first place, had 2 locked-in submission attempts, and Ngannou laid on top and did fucking nothing, and somehow won the 5th round. We'll see what people have to say about this video. I think it was a brutal robbery, very shambolic. Now again, in Ngannou respect, you used your grappling in those 3rd and 4th rounds, and you won the fight. Based on that, you had good grappling as the fight went on and had a lot of success with it, and it's good to see that he did that. But again, no idea what the judges are doing. Gane won that fight very clearly. Very shameful. But now we have to live with this. And Ngannou wins a robbery decision. Just like Adesanya won the Yoel Romero fight based on the 5th round, where Adesanya did fucking nothing. Yoel Romero outlanded Adesanya in the 5th round completely. Like, very clearly, he did definitely better than Adesanya in the 5th round, but still, judges gave Adesanya that decision. Adesanya also grew a breast for that fight as well, if you don't remember. Also, Usman Covington too. Usman should have lost those last 3 rounds based on damage, but of course, when Usman's fighting, damage doesn't matter to people, so people ignore it, and Usman wins that fight somehow, and on one judge's scorecard wins that fight 4 rounds to 1. No idea how this is happening so consistently, but it seems to be happening in a certain direction, and all I have to say before I go in this video is, the UFC really want UFC Africa. They really want to do a UFC Africa, and they're going to make it happen at all costs. They really want a UFC Africa. There's an untapped market there, and they really want a UFC Africa. They want it really badly, guys. Wouldn't be surprised if Dricus fucking Duplessis wins a robbery decision in a couple of months. We'll see how it goes. Decent fucking fight. Wasn't great at all. It was actually a shambolic display. And Ngannou couldn't land for shit in the first 2 rounds. Whiffing nearly everything he fucking threw, looking like a child out there. No technique whatsoever. And Gane making him look fucking silly on the feet in the first 2 rounds. Got a couple of well-timed takedowns in round 3 and 4. Did nothing in round 5 but lay on top and breathe heavily. Somehow won the fight. Very interesting. Another bad display for the heavyweight division. Gane's grappling actually was a bit of an exposure for him as well, so I wouldn't even mind Stipe's chances or even John Jones's chances to go in there and land the grappling and get the takedowns that he needs in that fight. But still, somehow they gave round 1 to Ngannou, and that was the 49-46 scorecard. I don't know what we're doing anymore, but this is the world we're in. I don't give a fuck who they fight next. The sport is rigged. Remember, on this day, Gane beat Ngannou, and if you can't argue any of the 5 figures I gave you, then don't talk about it whatsoever and just stick to calling me names, because you can't do anything else. Gane won that fight very clearly, and that's what I'll remember that in UFC history. Most people won't. People aren't even, they're saying Francis Nurmagomedov. Stupid as fuck. They aren't even talking about a robbery, but they're bringing it up for Moreno Figueiredo 3, even though Moreno clearly lost. Thank you for tuning in. Like and subscribe. The UFC really want a UFC Africa. They want a UFC Africa really, really badly. Goodbye. See you later, guys. Toodle pip.